What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the RTG career mode. It's episode number 43. Loads to get through today in a high stakes episode. The FA Cup third round against Manchester United. More big games in the Premier League after no wins in our last three and back-to-back losses. And we start with this. Europa Conference League, match day 5, Bromby away. And if we lose this game, we definitely are in trouble. Come on, the Pilgrims. Yeah, toughest mini patch of the season so far. No wins in 3, though of course all those 3 games being in the league in Europe. All we need is 1 win in our final 2 to guarantee a top 8 place. So either here away in Bromby or away in Scotland against St Mirren. Either will do. Oh dear. Either will do. But yeah, at the moment, like I said, if we don't win this, we are going to be a little nervous heading into that final league phase game. We know how overpowered form is. This is a game we need to make sure we return to winning ways in. Can't go on like this, can it? I mean, look at Fernandes. Easy money. Plymouth with the opener. We can't not win this. Well, as we often say, when you are really going through it and on a barren run of form, you just need an easy one. You just need what we call a gimme. Because once you get that under your belt, that first win, it rebuilds confidence, it restores self-esteem, and it reminds you, oh, that's how you win games. That feels good. Let's do it again. A win on match day 5, and that's it. St Mirren our final game, and I think now qualification's already locked up. Yep, back to winning ways. Now let's get back on track and back to form as we are back in Devon. Following contest, Brentford coming to home park. No wins in our last 3 in the league. If we fail to win this one, we'll probably drop outside the top 4. Let's restart our run, shall we? Come on, the Pilgrims. Yeah, all well and good doing it in the Conference League, Doxy boys. Robert Barr skips away from Rico Henry, but you got to do it in the league as well. That's great work from the Togolese Prince, who's struggled recently. He deserves the props for that, because Fernandes gets the goal, his second in 2, and it's all about the great dribbling from Robert Barr. I said before, man, he's got sensational feet. There are certain players whose dribbling skills make them so hard to get the ball off, because look at that, straight away, that touch there to beat Rico Henry. Oh, and he just couldn't put the finish on it as well. I mean, there are certain players, it feels like the ball is sort of connected to their feet, do you know what I mean? It's on a string. Oh man, that should have been 2 there. I'd like a big win if I could get one at some point, but at the moment, just grinding out wins might be the best we can do. Ball through, Jaden Downs, 1-on-1, just about squeezes it in. Can't buy a win in the league right now. Yep, no problems in Europe this season, absolutely none, but in the Premier League, no wins in 4 and 2 points taken from a possible 12. This is the sort of thing we saw throughout the entirety of the second third of last season. We're not at the halfway stage this year. This needs to get sorted ASAP. Right, well, let's get the Conference League wrapped up, shall we, and try and finish it as the league winners, taking on St Mirren, bottom of the league phase, without a single win with our backup side. Come on, the Pilgrims. As we mentioned many times before, the reason why it's so hard to return to winning consistently when you've had 2 or 3 games without one is because form in CM is just far too OP. Now, I'm always quick to point out, I do believe form should be in the game. Of course it should be. It's a real part of sport. It's a real part of football. But it's just so OP. So OP. When you're in good form, you feel like you can go to the Etihad, to the Bernabeu, to the Allianz and win and play a European giant off the park with no problem. But when you're in bad form, bottom place of the table coming to your house, who haven't won a game all season long, it feels like the most difficult game of the season. It's like, it just needs to be more realistic. Like, fair enough for tonight. I've got a backup side out there. It's, oh my word. I'm not expecting to get anything from this game with a totally rotated lineup, but it's just too obvious. You know, it's just far too obvious, and the form is far too strong. St Mirren winless in the entire competition, losing 4 of their first 5, and they're going to get their first win against us, who were top and undefeated hanging to it. Again, backup side out there, I take the point. But last season, for example, great example, Middlesbrough, who came to take us on at home, ended up finishing 38 games in the Premier League season without a single win and equalled Derby County's record low point tally. I had to grind out, and I mean grind out, a 1-0 win against them because at the time we were in poor form. It's far too strong. It needs to be toned down. We should get a goal back here, which we will through Randell, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll say this again because I don't want people to think that I'm against form being in the game. It's good that it's in the game. It should be in the game. Momentum, form, real parts of team football, real parts of team sport should be in the game. But EA need to understand that it's far too effective. When a bad team goes on a mini slump, they don't suddenly turn into a non-league club, you know, and yet your players feel like they're barely professional footballers. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Still, second place finish, bypassing the play-in. I'm not too mad about that loss. We were back up side. It means our starters are fresh for this game here, and it's a tough one. We haven't beaten Brighton once in the entire save, but on a really poor run of form with just one win in our last 6 in all competitions. If there was ever a time to get our first win against the Seagulls, it's right now. Brighton away. Come on, the Pilgrims. Faiki down the line finds Robert Barr. Twinkle toes. Oh no! And when you're going through it, these are the sort of things that start to happen, man. These are the sort of things that start to happen. Robert with the roulette. Fair tackle, but taken down. That looks like a 3-month broken toe. I'm calling it now. You know that old saying, when it rains, it pours. And in career mode, it's... oh, goodness. It's a hurricane. You don't get out of these storms unscathed. It's definitely my fault for the goal. I'm not even going to try and blame that on anyone else but my fault. But goodness gracious, 1 win in 7 in all competitions. We never beat Brighton though. What was I expecting? Haven't beaten Brighton in the entire save. It's funny when I kept on debating, oh, who's the main rival? You know, is it Leeds? Is it Coventry? Is it Southampton? No, it's these guys. We don't beat Brighton. We've never beaten Brighton. And as for Barr, well, thankfully it's not a broken toe, but a 4-week injury, and he'll be out until mid-January at the very earliest, missing that FA Cup third round against Manchester United. And more big games in the league as well, as we'll crack straight on to the next one. And with this game coming 2 days after that loss there, I might just rest my entire team, because it's the champions, they're in pole position, it's Liverpool coming to Devon, and on this run of form, we've got very little chance of getting even a point in this game. So I'm just going to rest most of my team and get them fit for the next one, which will be a bit more winnable. But Liverpool in the week. Let's see if we can put off a shock here. Come on, the Pilgrims. Still, for that moment there, I've got no one to blame but myself. That was a terrible mistake with Mumba. What was I doing? Honestly. I mean, there's not enough time for an attack, so just hoof it long, take the point, take the clean sheet, and go in with the draw, mate. Instead, just gifted Brighton that win. You know, when it rains, it pours, as we said, but for that moment there... for that moment there, I basically closed my umbrella and said, let it rain. You know, that was just completely my fault. And I can't dress it up any other way. Still, in this game here... Hang on. Oh, what a save, Costa. Do very well to last 89 minutes without conceding. Champions, league leaders, this is going to be a tough one. Always took the lead there, though. We've got Norwich away in the following game in 5 days' time, so best just to rotate most of my lineup for this game. Probably going to lose it anyway. There's Garnacho, the ex-Red Devil, in this save by Munich, man. Rolls it through to her virtue. Last year won the Golden Boot, hits the post, and unlike against Brighton, we won't just give Liverpool an easy goal. We'll pass out from the back successfully. Still tied at 0-0. I'll tell you, I'll take this. It might not end the winless run, but I'd certainly take this. Holding the champions for a mostly backup side out there. Yeah, I'll have this. And take it we shall. It's not a win. It's none in our last, I think, 5 in the Premier League now, or maybe even 6, and none in our last 4 in all competitions. But it does stop the rot and stem the flow. And against the champions, I'll take the point and clean sheet. But it's not draws we need, it's wins. Barren run for Plymouth, dropping outside the top 4 for the first time all season long. Only way we get back in it is going on a winning run. So let's start here. Newly promoted Norwich away at Carrow Road. Come on, the Pilgrims. It's now no goals in, I think, 4 or maybe 5 games as well for Ibrahim Kante. He's on a poor run, as are Plymouth. And it seems at the moment there is just, oh, thank God for that, there is just no end to this really, really tough time. When is the sun going to shine on Devon again? That's the question. Well, for this one here, away in Norfolk. Hey, I don't mind where we are as long as we win. Oh, what a save, Henderson. When you're in form, that is the back of the net. When you're not, keeper pulls off a worldie. Man United Academy graduate with an incredible stop. As Wood shot is blocked and Norwich escape. Come on. Come on, Raksaki. Kante. Jesseroon. Oh, it just snuck in. Thank goodness for that. First of the season for Raksaki. Creeps over the goal line. Plymouth have a much needed goal. Come on, don't throw this away. Don't throw this away. Lorenzo Colombo, the Italian, pops it out wide to Fabio Ronaldo and gives it him back. Come on, we need this. And I mean need. And that's going to go wide. Agent O'Brien giving us a goal kick. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it, bro. He's still got a Plymouth shirt underneath that Norwich one. He still loves us. We still love him, especially for messing that chance up. And that should do it. Plymouth, after a barren run, is surely back on track. Fernandez skips it out wide. Wood nods it down. And keep going. Oh, what a block. How on earth... Oh, hang on. What's happened there? Oh! That's the worst own goal I've ever seen. That's it. End the contest. I'm never going to see a worse own goal than that. Twice in the same sequence. Forest almost gifted me a goal. At Forest and Norwich. Oh my God. Well, I know you need a helping hand when you're going through it. That's not a helping hand. That's rumours of match fixing. Dean Henderson dropping a clanger. Wood's getting a yellow card for laughing too much. But most importantly, Plymouth are back to winning ways. I mean, we're going to win the game anyway, but that is the icing on the cake. What was that? Dean Henderson and Lewis O'Brien have just received £50,000 deposits into their bank accounts. We're not quite sure why, but coincidentally, Plymouth are short 100 grand. I don't know if the two are linked, I'm not sure, but let's not investigate it, shall we? Let's move on. January's here. I don't think we'll do anything in the window, though. No money to work with, really. And I trust the squad are going to turn it around. I do trust the squad. And let's start here. Following game, away against Carrow Road. That was a big win, and now we're away at Villa Park. Tough one to go to, but if we only get back in the top 4, we have to get the win. Let's get back-to-back for the first time in a long time. Come on, the Pilgrims. To be fair, when you think about what happened last season, honestly, the kind of goals we conceded, those kind of goals went in against us last season, you know. So this year, it's nice that the shoe's on the other foot, really. Yes! Because it was the unluckiest season I'd ever had playing career mode last year. The refereeing decisions, the injuries, the kind of goals we conceded. This year, it's nice to get a bit of a helping hand for us. Kante to Wood, and whilst Ibrahim continues to struggle in front of goal, he can still provide. Naif's third of the year, Plymouth in front. Great to get the goal, but I could really do with another one for Kante. It's been a while. Yes, Taylor went in. It's been a while since he last hit the back of the net. And it's no coincidence that when Kante struggles for form, we struggle for form. But this is the thing about Ibrahim, and this is the thing about top quality players. If you're not able to do what you're best at, affect the game in a positive way in another way. I'll never forget when Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time in the NBA, had a shooting slump and he was really struggling to score. And Steve Kerr pulled him aside once in a timeout and said, this is your field goal percentage, this is your plus minus. And the field goal percentage was horrible, but the plus minus was really good. And why is that? Because he was affecting the game in other ways. Rebounding, playmaking, defending. And if you can't score, Kante, affect the game in another way. No goals, but 2 assists. And Plymouth with back-to-back wins. I'm calling it now. It's, oh, Kante, oh no, it's going to go in! He said, yes, Gaffer, I can score, and I can do it in a strange way as well. Ball over the top, keeper comes, and how often are you taught this in junior football? If you come, you've got to get there. He gets caught in no man's land, and Ibrahim Kante ends his goal drought with a sliding, well, not sliding, but a stretching kick over the keeper and into the unguarded net. That's going to do it. Plymouth freeing it up, and what a way to get back-to-back wins. Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose the clean sheet here, and we are indeed. Ruben Mercado turns in from close range. And whilst we will lose the clean sheet, we won't lose the 3 points, and that's the most important thing. First time in a long time, Plymouth win back-to-back in the Premier League, and man, did we need that. And so it turns out we are going to do something in January. It's not bringing players in, it's keeping players here. Just giving 3 new contracts to 2 players on expiring deals. The young striker, we've got Stevens, 75 overall now, to be fair, so a decent backup for Sanko and Kante. I've given one to Anyembe, even though he's in his 30s now, I know he's 70 overall. He's one of those players who, whenever he plays, he does a good job. So an extra 1 year, that'll see him stop leaving on a free transfer. And Nathan Wood as well. Wasn't on an expiring contract, still had 18 months on his deal, but he's having what you call a breakout season this year. 5 assists and now 3 goals in 18 games, bossing it through the middle of the park as a 19-year-old. And we love the big boy, man. We love Nathan Wood, so he's going absolutely nowhere. Let's jump into our final game then. It is indeed FA Cup 3rd round. I swear, we are always getting drawn against Manchester United. Last year, they knocked out the FA Cup 4th round at Old Trafford. Now we take them on again, this time here at Home Park. Final game, Manchester United in the Cup. Come on, the Pilgrims. Yeah, this is the 4th meeting against Manchester United in 2 seasons in the Cup alone. Last year, FA Cup 4th round knockout at Old Trafford, but also the Carabao Cup semis as well. And now the FA Cup 3rd round here in Devon too. Can't stop getting drawn against Ruben Amorim's side, man, honestly. If they get a late free kick, well, all I'll say is this. Lino, make sure you're eagle-eyed this time. Clearly offside, Maguire, wasn't he? No VAR in the cup, of course. I don't think Leicester were too happy about that. Going to full-time whistle on Friday night. Oh, that's a really, really, really lucky opportunity, which in form Kante absolutely buries. Such a soft attempt. Quite an easy save in the end for Bayern. To be fair, even though it was offside, I was pleased for Maguire. Kante's, what's happened there? Defence parting like the Red Sea. And Mateus might not be Moses, but he certainly looked like it there, asking them to go down the middle, Mr. Kante. 1-0, that is shocking defended. I'll have that though. Anthony down the right hand side. Wow, look at that. Amazing skill. Oh. How did I not make the tackle there? He's right next to me. That is one of those moments where you don't realise you're actually a bit further away from the ball carrier than you are with your defender. So instead of making a tackle, I just lunged into thin air. Not the first time I've done it in this save either. There's Vlahovic, you got that leveller. As he, pass deflecting into Xavi Simons, who beats Cooper with a Travailer. Got a touch on it with Tenen, but couldn't deflect it away, but instead through. And just like on Friday night, Manchester United come from behind to lead. It's the difficulty of winning games like this, man, when you've not been in great form. Okay, fine, back-to-back. Oh, Fernandes having an absolute storm. Back-to-back wins, but it's still not been great form. When Fernandes is playmaking like today, you've always got a chance. His through ball's phenomenal today. Back on level terms, thriller of a cup tie as things stand going extra time. Yep, extra time it is. 4 goals in 90 minutes. This has been an absolute thriller of a tie. But to be fair, if it does go to penalties, I think we've had a chance. I've won 2 shootouts in the save so far. My record's getting, I was going to say it's not getting good, but it's getting better. Well, the first 90 minutes were fantastic. The half an hour afterwards, instantly forgettable. And it is indeed going to be penalties. I was so close to saying, I'm getting good at penalties. No, I'm really not. I'm not going to try and kid myself either. However, I have won a couple, so I'm not as defeatist as I normally am. Come on, Plymouth. Tell you what though, Kante's not taking one. Kante is, you are not taking one, mate. You've missed 2 crucial ones in 2 of our last 3 shoots. Oh, you're not having one, mate, honestly. You cannot take penalties, but this man can. He scored both his penalties this season in the league. And you just knew that was going to happen. Oh, come on. I don't win penalties. What am I thinking, seriously? What am I thinking? I can't... I'll tell you what it is, it's because it's so hard to save penalties. Like, you might just, like, save 1 at the most out of 5. So you need to be 100% if you are going to make it through. I've missed 2 in a row. It's now become 3. You know, when I was so close to saying, oh, get good at penalties. I'm not defeatist anymore. Yeah, I'm back to that familiar feeling of loss before I've even taken one. Matthias Tell to send the Red Devils through. Game. Just stop pretending you're ever going to get good at penalties, mate. You are still Absolutely atrocious. I don't know what the record is, but it's once again another L to add to the collection. But that'll do it for today's episode of the RTG Career, guys. Big fan of you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have done, please do drop a like. I missed them all and didn't save one. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next episode very soon. Dumped out of the cut, but we should see the draw for the Conference League last 16 and more games in the league aim to build on our back-to-back wins with the remainder of the transfer window too very soon.